அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். ஒன்டாரியோ மாகாணத்தினுடைய 2021ஆம் ஆண்டிற்கான வரவு செலவு திட்டம் இன்றைய தினம் மாகாண சபையிலே சமர்ப்பிக்கப்பட்டது. கோவிட் பெருந்தொற்றின் மத்தியிலே மிக முக்கியமான ஒரு வரவு செலவு திட்டமாக இன்றைய வரவு செலவு திட்டம் பார்க்கப்படுகிறது. கடந்த மார்ச் மாதம் அறிவிக்கப்பட வேண்டிய வரவு செலவு திட்டம் இந்த கோவிட் பெருந்தொற்று காரணமாக முதல்வர் டக்ஃபோர்ட் அந்த வரவு செலவு திட்டத்தை பிற்போட்டிருந்தார். அந்த வகையிலே புதிய நிதி அமைச்சரினால் இன்றைய வரவு செலவு திட்டம் அறிவிக்கப்பட்டது. இந்த வரவு செலவு திட்டத்திலே என்ன விடயங்கள் உள்ளடக்கப்பட்டிருக்கின்றன என்பது குறித்து எங்களோடு பேசுவதற்காக ஒன்டாரியோ மாகாண நிதி அமைச்சரின் மாகாண சபை உதவியாளரும் விலோடேல் தொகுதியின் மாகாண சபை உறுப்பினருமான ஸ்டான் சோ இணைந்து கொள்கிறார். அவரோடு நாங்கள் பேசுவோம். Thank you for taking the time out today.
Thank you so much for having me, and vanakkam to all your viewers.
You are probably the second most busiest person today, being the assistant or the parliamentary assistant to the Minister of Finance. So we do appreciate your time. For our viewers, if you would take us through the important announcement that are part of today's budget that was tabled by the Minister of Finance.
Sure. Thank you, Lankafas, and thank you to your viewers. I know COVID-19 has been incredibly difficult for all of us here in our province. And so today's budget was our third version in our $51 billion action plan in response to the pandemic. We can see light at the end of the tunnel, but the focus of this budget remained protecting the health and safety of the people in this province, as well as protecting our jobs and economy. And so some of the highlights include $16.3 billion for our healthcare system, including $1 billion for vaccinations to get those needles into people's arms, $5.1 billion for hospital capacity, as well as to address the surgical backlog that we have, $4.9 billion to make sure we deliver on the 4 hours of daily care for every single long-term care resident in the province of Ontario. And we doubled the small business support grant. I know many in the Tamil community are in small business, and we're doubling that grant between $10,000 and $20,000, just to name a few. But we've made it clear, Lankathas, that today's budget will finish the fight we started a year ago.
There was an important announcement in regards to childcare for parents who have children up to the age of 12. If you would give us a little bit more information on that as well.
Sure. It's a very important measure, and it's from, to be clear, 0 to 12 years old. And if you have a child in that age bracket, you will receive as a parent $400 per child, $500 per child if with special needs. And so this is the third iteration of the program. And so if you've got a family of two kids at home, that means you will have access $1,600 in direct supports from our government. Understanding COVID-19 has been very hard on parents, but it doesn't stop there. We've also increased the care tax credit program so that now parents will be eligible for up to 90% of childcare expenses through this tax credit. And it's a flexible program. So whether you are getting childcare from your local daycare, from your babysitter, from your day camps, those programs will be eligible for those expenses. And we're also creating 30,000 additional childcare spaces in the province, understanding how hard this has been on moms and dads.
Obviously, the deficit would be in place, or there would be a deficit until 2029. That is going to leave a huge impact into the whole economy. How does the Ford government, look to close that gap going forward? I know there will be at least one election before that, but where are your plans? What are your thoughts in regards to that?
I appreciate that question. It's a hugely important one, Lankathas, and really for me, politics doesn't weigh into this decision, because right now is absolutely the time to spend when the people you serve need you the most. And I want to remind your viewers that when we first came into government for the first 2.5 years, during good economic times, our government exercised great prudence and brought the planned deficit of $15 billion down in half. And so that is why we're able to adapt so quickly. That is why we're able to direct record funds to make sure we support the health and safety of the people of this province, because you cannot have a healthy economy without healthy people. And you're right, The deficit figures are big, but we are confident that we can bet on the people of this province, because some people say that you can only return to balance by cutting programs and services, or others say you can only do that by raising taxes. But we believe that's a false choice. I think by betting on the people of this province, we're going to return to the conditions we had before the pandemic of economic success. Ontario is going to be the economic engine of our country, and we're going to rely on people, the job creators, to bring us back to that prosperity, and we're confident we're going to get there.
Thank you for your time. Obviously, this is a huge budget. Having missed one last year in March and going through 1 year of pandemic, this is going to be huge, and this is going to either make or break us, and hopefully it will make us. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll speak to you again in regards to budget or other issues related to Ontario. Thanks for your time today.
Nandi, thank you so much, Lana Kathas. Appreciate it.